Brett, an update on Shemi
Shemi's available.
and everybody else. Starting lineup for tonight?
Marcus Morris for Baines.
Just because of the Cavs in the matchup?
They're super skilled. Obviously, Love at the 5 is a really tough cover. So it kind of forces your hand in some ways to match up.
Thank you.
Coach, among their other weapons, talk about their depth.
Yeah, I think that's been one of the things that's probably been I'm sure, I don't read every article about him, but I'm sure that the people that follow him probably talk a lot about what the second unit has meant to them. And it's really good. I mean, when you think about all the good players they have in the starting lineup, led by, the probable MVP if the voting was today, and LeBron. But when you get to that second unit and you've got Wade and Korver and Thompson, and you can sprinkle in a starter with those guys, man, it's tough. And it's really, really, a group. And it can get even stronger, when Shumpert and Rose and eventually come back.
I know Isaiah's not playing tonight, but what will it be like for you to see him again?
Yeah, I mean, I saw him when we played in Cleveland, and first and foremost, I will always value him as a friend and a person that I got to be teammates with, and I think that's what you appreciate the most about team sports, and kind of lost amongst all the talk of where people play and everything else is the fact that you did get to compete together. And so I've always appreciated that about him. It's always great to see him. It was great to watch him play last night. I thought he was fantastic, and he added a dimension and element to their team. Again, you talk about, if he starts the game and then comes out early, LeBron comes out for a breather, and Isaiah goes back to second unit. Think about how many scorers and players you have out there with that. He's going to add quite a bit to that team. You could tell last night.
Brad, obviously the first time you played this team, opening night, so much happened. Gordon goes down. What do you take from that game in terms of film, or was it a tough game to evaluate based on how your guys emotionally responded?
No, I mean, I think both teams did what they usually try to do as far as tactically. I'm sure the Cavs feel the same way as I watched that game, and it looks like we practiced for 3 weeks. I thought we really competed. I thought we really played hard. I thought we regrouped after what was a brutal, obviously, injury to Gordon, but we just didn't have enough in the end. And we're going to have to play better than that tonight. Both teams are a couple of months better now in how they're executing, how they're playing, and certainly. We came up short that night.
And Brad, can you describe any difference in the intensity or emotion on a night like this when there's two good teams, two top teams in the Eastern Conference squaring off?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a coach, you want the same focus, intensity, awareness for all 82 games. But certainly, I mean, these guys have been the class of the East for the last few years, and so I think like anything else, you want to compete against the best.
Coach, what did having those two practices or those practices do for this team now, being able to work on specific things?
I think that's more down the road type stuff. I mean, I think it was, those are more big picture things than necessarily what it means today, tomorrow, next week. I think it's just a matter of getting back into kind of the big picture of what's going to make us our best, again, down the road.
You had mentioned earlier about LeBron being one of the guys at the forefront for the MVP. Are there one or two things that you're seeing him do a better job of now as you evaluate and prepare for this game?
I mean, he shoots 40% from three. Like, now how do you guard him, right? Like, in all sincerity, I mean, do you go small on him? He takes you to the post, or he drives you. They do a lot of cool wrinkles where they will back screen him into the post, and you'll have to make a decision on switching or not. Which, for against most matchups, it's not as difficult a decision. But then, his ability to shoot, his ability to isolate, make plays for others. He never misses an open player. I think I think people appreciate playing with him. I think that probably, is a big deal. Like, how many times it looks like he's got a post matchup advantage and he skips it across the court to Love, and everybody's staring at LeBron. he's a special player. He's obviously been dominant.
You mentioned some of the on-court stuff Jay did for this team. What kind of impact did he have in terms of establishing the culture? What kind of impact did he have for Jay?
Well, I think Jay came here, like a lot of guys came here, where they were coming from probably having a little bit less opportunity. And this was a chance to be on the court and a chance to, you know, not only prove but show that they're not just good players, but they can add value to winning. And I think that that's two separate things sometimes. And you know, he did both here and did a really good job, and you know, has continued that. I did not think it was a coincidence that Jay looked even more comfortable, and his best game might have been yesterday, as Isaiah was out there with him. I think that there's some you know, there's some familiarity there that benefited him.